Good time. We can start now. All right, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We actually have a lot of fun stuff tonight to talk about, and not too much business, which kind of fits the time of the year we're at. So, with that, if Chaplain Grubbs can ready to start.
Shall we take a moment for our prayer? Oh Lord, hear our prayers. Thank you for the gifts of the day. Today's sunshine that broke through the morning clouds and rain somehow gave a special color and warmth to this afternoon. Thank you for the people, the cares, the words, and the needs shared among us as the day went. Touches of care given and received, greetings of happy holidays and Merry Christmas. All words of blessing passed between us to give honor and care to our friendship and work together. Seems like something happens this time of year, no matter the events of the day. It's almost as if our days of Thanksgiving break open into a time when the fullness of your love breathes new life into our being. Words are spoken, stories of our faith are proclaimed, candles are lit, prayers are said, songs and music join us together in remembrance of those we love and the gift of your love, and it dwells in our heart. Somehow a spirit of giving, believing, and generosity and care flows among us. We believe you dwell in our midst, even in the deepest, most needs of our living, even in this space and our work tonight. So to celebrate and to confirm your blessings of this day upon our work and with one another, this is our prayer. May it be so. Amen. Amen.
Everyone should have in front of them the agenda for tonight. Anyone has any additions or other things they'd like to add, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, we'll move ahead. Looks good. With that, I'm going to go up. You want me to go up there and do it? We have some special guests and things going on today. That this is the fun part. Dr. Molly Seals, you could join us up here. I think you have some guests with you. As they make their, everyone can come up. It'd be great. You know, I get to do some fun things as chairman now, and one of them is to get to learn about some of the amazing things that happen up here. And I'm going to read this because I didn't know this until tonight. I don't want to miss any of it. With Dr. Seal is actually your nurse, Nurse Wanda Braley. And Miss Braley graduated from Erlanger Nursing School in the 60s, worked in med-surg, then in the ED before working with you for 44 years, correct? So this team has been together for quite some time and done a lot of really good work. And you began your career here in Erlanger 50 years ago as a rotating intern and then ophthalmology residency in 1969.
I finished in 16.
Okay. During your first year of residency, Dr. Lee Arnold talked with you about opening an eye wing at Erlanger. The opening ceremonies for the new Miller Eye Center, named for civic leader Burkett Miller, was 36 years ago. For almost 40 years, the Miller Eye Center has served the residents of this community largely under your leadership. And as we all know, you have distinguished yourself professionally many times and within our community, and you often talk about how much you enjoy the excitement and stimulation of being involved with the academic teaching side of the hospital. And in your own words, it is still exciting to be part of the teaching hospital with ongoing academic activities and discussion. Tonight, we salute you for over 5 decades of your dedication to Erlanger, its patients, and our teaching program. It could very well be said that Dr. Seals' commitment and vision has led to improved vision for thousands of grateful families in the tri-state community. So thank you. And please, if your husband Jim and you can accept this gift from us, from the board in the hospital, with our appreciation.
Well, thank you.
We honor you for 50 years of dedicated service to patient care in this entire region.
Thank you very much. It sort of slipped up on me. I enjoy being a part of a hospital that has a large private practice and also an active academic practice. And it was when I began to get mailings from medical school about our 50th reunion that I thought, I've been an Erlanger doctor 50 years. So it sort of slipped up on me too, but I think that was because I was enjoying what I was doing and where I was. Certainly, all hospitals, and certainly a public hospital, and certainly an academic hospital, have had trials and tribulations in the last 50 years. But I have felt like that I was fortunate to be in a place that was a combination of the two and never wanted to leave. So, thank you
Thank
very
you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Dr. Shoemaker, you can come up, we're going to embarrass you now. We have two trustees tonight that are rolling off of their service. And Dr. Shoemaker, I've luckily gotten to know both you and Donnie, who will be coming up here next. And I have to say specifically, wherever you want to go, right in the middle. Nita has been, there's a special thing that happens here when you join the board and become a trustee. You get to learn about how medicine works. Because a lot of the trustees are not, well, most of the trustees are not from the medical profession. And there's a lot of acronyms, a lot of words, a lot of things that you have to learn. And Nita has been, for a lot of us, I know, our secret guidebook to all things medical. And you know, I've stopped meeting, sit next to her, what does that mean? What does that mean? And texted and been rude, and we're not supposed to. It's all been education of Nita teaching me things. And so for teaching and guiding, thank you. And thank you for your service. And thank you for all of your questions. And asking them and helping push everything forward. So thank you.
Thank you. I just posted on Facebook that my reign of terror at Erlanger's over, and I took a picture between out in the hall with my picture that looks like I was 12 years old, and like I'm sure I still look 12.
13.
I just want to honor Dr. Shoemaker for all of her personal commitment to the patients and leading this hospital on the board. As a physician leader, you actually have a different perspective to kind of advocate for patients and raising that bar. And Dr. Shoemaker has always done that, not only here, but her commitment to the Hamilton County Medical Society and the Tennessee Medical Association. So on behalf of all the physicians, the administration, and the board, we want to congratulate you for your service.
Thank you. Donnie's, I will trade with Donnie after the fact.
So now, if Donnie and Lisa can join us up here.
Oh, we need to say Mr. Shoemaker's playing Santa Claus somewhere tonight for the Medical Alliance.
And this will be the last time I have to warn anybody, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yes, pull on that. Yes. Pull the whole thing.
Donnie has, in very short order, the time, it's been about 2.5 years that I've been on the board, and since day one has been a great mentor. And frankly, I don't think I'd be comfortable doing hardly anything that I do here at the hospital if I didn't still have your phone number. So I do still have your phone number, you haven't changed it.
You text me yesterday?
Yes, I did. And you know, just a mentor and a guide. And I think you've seen, as chairman, you saw this hospital through some very difficult times and have brought us to some better times, and hopefully set us up so that with the right leadership and an engaged and intelligent board, we can move on to even better times that might be ahead of us. So thank you for that, for your personal mentorship for me. I know I've grown and learned a lot from you, and I think everybody else who you've worked with here has probably done the same thing. So thank you, and Lisa, thank you for letting us have him for the time that I know took away from your family, and the phone calls that probably took away from dinner time a few times. So thank you and your family as well.
So on behalf of the entire hospital, the medical staff, the administration, and the board, we want to personally thank you. But from a personal side, Donnie has really led me into Chattanooga. He's mentored me, he's taught me things, and his advice and counsel has really led this hospital to that next level. And I think without your mentorship and your leadership, it would have been very difficult to get to this point without you. So we really acknowledge you and this all the time and effort and personal commitment that you have done to this hospital and all the patients that we serve. So, thank you very much.
Thank y'all very much. And if anybody's been around me, just talk to me very much. It always circles back to Erlanger, and they know what a love I have for Erlanger. So the trustees, I'll leave it in great hands. Hopefully someday they might let me circle back, and, you know, so it's some year, but, and the management team, guys, I can't say enough about y'all. All the way down that road there, including Mr. Spiegel, y'all have just been wonderful. And yes, I will miss those. Jeff was my early morning phone calls. Greg was my late night phone calls. So I'm getting a little lonely at night now. So that's how I thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff. After a year.
Well, and while I'm up here, I wouldn't. Dr. Jackson, we have a new chief medical officer, Dr. Jackson. You now know a little bit about what you're joining. So welcome to the team. Thank you. Everyone's excited that you're here.
Sure.
So with that, Dr. Kofer, we have a quality and safety update. This is almost such a hard act to follow.
So I'm going to talk about a few things that we're doing. I wanted to, again, talk about the catheter-associated urinary tract infection prevention that we've got going here. Just to bring y'all up to speed, put in place a nurse-driven protocol 2-3 years ago, where basically the nurses make the decision about when the catheters come out. They have certain criteria. Don't take them out when they shouldn't come out, but they take them out when the doctors forget to take them out. And this has really dropped our UTI rate dramatically. We're actually below mission criteria. We're doing great. And recently we put into place in the ICUs can you hear me, John? Yeah. Recently we put into place in the ICUs a specific order set that if a physician wants to keep a catheter in past 48 hours, he or she has to sign a piece of paper and say why. So we're rolling that out to the floors now. It's been in place in the units for a while. So we're keeping our focus on this and trying to make it better. And hats off to Caretha Weaver and Ted Nelson for leading this. We're starting to prepare for Joint Commission. We're in the window where Joint Commission may be here within the next year or so. They can come anytime, but we don't expect a visit from the Joint Commission. That's like the Ohio State, the Joint Commission, until probably somewhere later next year. We're in the process of meeting monthly. We're reviewing at least 19 chapters, 2 at a time, looking at our processes, what we've got in place to satisfy Joint Commission. These are such things, these chapters are such things as infection prevention, accreditation, leadership, process improvement, and again, Caretha Weaver and Debbie Shepard have been leading that very ably. You all may not know this has not been hit the news yet, but we did have a survey from the Joint Commission 10-11 December looking at our Comprehensive Stroke Center accreditation. Now this is different from this stroke center. Comprehensive Stroke Center accreditation is the highest you can be. I think the trustees are well aware we have a world-class stroke treatment here with Tom Devlin and Blaze Baxter, and the things they're doing. In some cases is truly remarkable, truly miraculous. People coming in with a stroke and walking out a few days later completely intact. But they were here looking at our program, and we received recertification, which is fantastic. We only had one recommendation for improvement, and generally when they come to a place, they leave with 5 or 8 recommendations for improvement. So they did a good job, a really good job, and we should be proud of that. And again, Tracy Jennings, Service Line Manager, Tom Devlin, Debbie Shepard, hats off. We recently had several members of the team attend the Institute for Healthcare Improvement meeting. This is an annual meeting in Orlando. This is actually a worldwide organization that focuses on improving healthcare. Woods Blake, Dr. Keys, Mike Bettinger, Ted Nelson, and Tiabra Swafford from our place went down there and attended. The conference focuses on community health, achieving high reliability for your organization, and enhancing patient experience, and finally supporting unit level quality initiatives. This is sort of the end-all be-all for quality in the hospital world. There are several other organizations that do this, NISQIP's one, but basically this is the umbrella organization, and we were well represented there. Finally, NSQIP, we're renewing our contract with the ACS. As I mentioned before, Tennessee was the 31st hospital, Erlanger was the 31st hospital in the nation in NSQIP, the first hospital in Tennessee. Our collaborative has actually gotten bigger. Blue Cross Blue Shield has agreed to fund a few more rural hospitals, so we probably have 22 or 23 hospitals now. But they've pulled away from funding the TSQC as a whole, and THA has stepped up. THA has seen the worth of the TSQC, the Tennessee Surgical Quality Collaborative, in improving health care of the citizens of the state. They have agreed to, across the board, fund the infrastructure. That's the money that goes to some of the surgeon champions and the leadership committee, and fund the quarterly meetings and the lunches, et cetera, et cetera. The statistician, Chris Clark, that's probably around $300,000 a year. But actually, they thought the organization is so important, THA Board of Directors agreed to fund the hospitals this year, $25,000 a piece. So Erlanger will be getting $25,000 this year. I don't think it's well known here, but we have received at Erlanger about $350,000 over the last 7 or 8 years in funding through the TSQC to help fund these quality initiatives. And again, Patty Spangler is the nurse abstractor, and I'm the surgeon champion. And finally, as I get these things together once a month, I'm wondering, what do they want to hear? I mean, there's the joint conference where we go over very granular data, specific outcomes, and that's really not for this particular venue. But I would welcome hearing from the board members, what do you want me to talk about? And with that, I'll answer questions. Hearing none, I'll sit down.
I think the trustees in the packet have the minutes from our last meeting in November that we need to review and approve, and with that, I'll entertain a motion for those minutes. So moved. Second for Mike. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Motion passes. Minutes. Now we'll go on to committee reports. The Budget and Finance Committee, I chaired this month, and we have one item that is on the consent calendar. Joint conference, Dr. Kern? Joint conference did meet, I believe, and did not bring anything before us.
No.
Okay. Did the planning committee meeting?
We did not read this one.
Audit and compliance? Legal committee? Did legal committee meet, Jeff? Okay. MBEC did meet, did not bring anything to the board. Correct. And the personnel committee, I do not believe met. Okay. Do we have any unfinished business? Without that, we'll move to the consent calendar. We'll entertain a motion for the consent calendar items to be approved. Have a motion, do I have a second? Second from Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstaining or objecting? With that, the consent calendar carries. You see the informational items on the agenda. We'll not have any verbal reports, but if there are any questions, we can those. And with that, we'll move to the medical staff report. I do not believe Dr. Kern is here tonight. Do we have anyone reporting in his stead? Okay. And with that, Dr. Ford, do we have a report from
Yes,
us?
sir. Two very brief but important items. Our recruitment for a new dean is gaining momentum. We now have 12 applications and we will get more. Most of those applicants have actually applied for the position, but several have been nominated. And in the case where an individual has been nominated, I have followed up and contacted them personally to judge their level of interest. So the two or three that have been nominated are all very interested in the position, according to the feedback that I've received. The search committee is going to be looking at all of these applicants very closely and will be narrowing the field down in January, probably to 3 or 4 of our top candidates. And those 3 or 4 will be asked to come and visit us on campus and spend some time with us. So we'll be moving forward to that important step very quickly. Second item is this week we had a representative from the Accreditation Council on Graduate Medical Education review our OBGYN residency program. That was a very positive visit from all indications. The report from that surveyor will go to the OBGYN Residency Review Committee the 1st of February, and we will hear the results immediately after that. So we're expecting a positive result on that accreditation visit. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Spiegel.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I want to begin by acknowledging one of our employees who has served this hospital for the last 50 years as well. She has been recognized by her peers, and celebrations have occurred already, but I want to just bring to your attention Ms. Sina Clark, who works for Environmental Services, who has served this community and this hospital and all of our patients in the most unbelievable way for the last 50 years. Thank you. I mean, these are unbelievable acknowledgments. She's here with her son and got acknowledged at a lot of ceremonies here at the hospital. But we're so fortunate to have board members that are passionate about Erlanger and this community. And I know everybody will miss Donnie Hutchison and his leadership and Dr. Shoemaker and her leadership. And I want to personally thank them for their service. At the same time, I want to also welcome Dr. Will Jackson, who's coming here from the Inova healthcare system and well-educated internal medicine, pulmonary critical care background, and he's going to add a lot to the leadership of this hospital. And we formally welcome you here and your family.
Thank you.
I want to give a brief update on Hutchison Medical Center. The bankruptcy court has awarded the nursing home and the child care center to be sold to Maybrook for $7.3 million. The hospital has been sold to a subsidiary corporation of Apollo MD, who was previously providing emergency medicine care at Hutchison for an additional $4.2 million. From the proceeds in the bankruptcy court, Erlanger will receive $2.6 million, which will be deducted from the guarantees of both Walker and Catoosa counties that guaranteed $10 million each. And then we will be able to move forward with that. And it was announced today that Hutchison will also reopen as a hospital effective Friday. Don't know what services they're going to provide, but it was announced. Council, has anything else to add?
Nothing else, okay.
Want to also let everybody know that we do have a medical clinic on the Parkway there, and as of 2 weeks ago, we extended our office hours as an urgent care clinic till 10 p.m., providing services on an urgent care need to the community effective when Hutchison closed. So we did step up, provided services in that community until 10 p.m. I just want to also announce on the paid annual leave buyback, our associates were able to currently sell back 150 hours of that. As a one-time initiative, we allowed our employees to sell back anything they wanted to for a one-time benefit to our employees. This was already booked, it was explained to Finance Committee, and we have moved forward with allowing the employees to do that. In the last check in this month, they will be able to, if they so choose, to redeem their vacation at a discount of 10%. Christmas Day, Judy, my wife, and I will be rounding the hospital both Christmas Eve Day and Christmas Day, and we will be going to all of the sites. If anybody wants to join us, we will be here, and this is a tradition we started when we first came here. I do want to show you a brief commercial that is airing in the movie theaters on the holidays about our pediatric oncology program. And I think it's really special. There's also an ad of billboards going up, kind of an experiment. It had a question about where do all the pediatric oncology patients get treated in this region, and it's over 90% of all pediatric patients, probably in the 93 to 94%, that they all get treated here at Erlanger. And now we updated those posters, and now we actually solved the riddle. So if anybody has picked up on it, but I think it would be a good opportunity for you to view this ad. Hopefully our technology.
Recently, a very special reunion took place. Survivors of childhood cancer reunited with doctors and nurses who helped save their lives. Some are older now. Others are fresh from the battle. But all of them, plus hundreds of others from throughout the area, share a common bond. They all fought cancer and won at the same place. The place where more than 90% of area kids with cancer are treated. The Comprehensive Children's Cancer Center that just happens to be right here at home. This is world-class This is Children's Hospital at Erlanger.
And that really kind of kicks off the foundation. Julie Taylor and her team have been conducting the employee campaign to raise awareness and raise money for the new Children's Hospital. We've had a tremendous response from all of our employees, and over 1,000 employees have signed up and made pledges towards the Children's Hospital, and that's kind of a tribute to the entire unbelievable workforce that we have and their personal commitment to Erlanger and the future of Children's Hospital. So I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all the employees and the board who have stepped up and personally have committed to bring attention to children's hospitals. That's my report.
Thank you. And now we have one, hopefully, surprise announcement. One last presentation we're going to sneak in that is, you know, it's a pretty significant accomplishment for someone who's been in Chattanooga for only 2.5 years to be recognized as one of the city's 10 most influential leaders. And if you haven't seen the latest issue of Edge magazine, you might recognize one of the faces. You probably recognize all the faces, but you might recognize one in particular in the top right, our own Kevin Spiegel. So, Mr. Spiegel, I think we have a couple things to present. One more personal, and then one more frame. We wanted to recognize you and everything you've done, and how you've really embraced the community and how the community is embracing you. It's, you know, the work we do here is good work, and it's important, and you're leading us in a very strong direction. So thank you, and I think this award recognizes that. But from us, this is for you, and we have a framed version as well that can go in your office or wherever it needs to go. So congratulations, and hopefully we kept the secret from you all day. It's a little bit. It's hard to keep anything secret from you around here.
I think Kitty's in trouble.
And one last thing, to another very important person here at the hospital. We try to do this every year. You can't be surprised. No, none of these meetings would ever get done or ever actually happen if it weren't for Kitty. And she keeps us all straight. She keeps the agenda here. She keeps everybody. She's sitting here. This is my first meeting as chairman. She's sitting here giving me notes, telling me not to forget this, not to forget that. So from all of us, from Kevin and his wife Judy and all the board, thank you so much. I'll point everyone to notice all the upcoming meetings. And before we adjourn, I would remind all of our trustees we have our closed credentialing meeting upstairs. Hopefully we can move there efficiently. Welcome to the end of the meeting. But we're going to have that closed credentialing meeting immediately following this. And with that, we're adjourned.